I'm in a barbecue restaurant in Paris, France that stole some of the best pitmasters from Texas and brought them here. And now they make barbecue that apparently is just as good as the best in Texas, maybe even better. And we're gonna see that for ourselves and eat pretty much the whole menu with Bobby, who's American and a bit of a barbecue expert.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see how this barbecue is in comparison to barbecue in Texas.
But first, I want you to be the judge of how authentically things are made here. And for that, we're gonna meet with Jean, who is one of the owners of the place and who's gonna show us how they make Texas barbecue here in Paris, France.
Did you eat already?
No.
You have no meeting after? Because it's gonna smell a lot like...
That is okay, that's a great smell.
Okay, so these are the spare ribs. This just went inside the smoker like maybe half an hour ago. So you have those brisket that's going to be ready for tonight. For the brisket, for example, we receive it all 7-8 kilos, okay? Just for you to have an idea, and we then trim them. So we take the excedent of fat. You want this cut to be equal everywhere because the smoke is going to go through the meat easier and the easiest way if it's like perfectly round up everywhere, okay? We have a special rub that we do with pepper, salt, paprika, cumin, and many other stuff that I will not tell you. And then we put them in the smoker 4 hours. The first hours are really important because that's where all the taste is gonna go and all the smoke is gonna go through the meat. Then we take the butcher paper, we round them, and then we put them back inside the smoker for an extra like 8 hours. It's gonna keep all the juices, and at some point in the cooking process, we open the smoker, we touch them, and we see which one is readier than the other one, and we move them, we flip them, just because we want to have the smoking process to be completely equal everywhere. We would love to only use French beef, that we already do, but for the brisket, we need to have our beef to be fed with grain.
Yeah.
In France, we do not feed our beast with grain. We feed it mostly with grass, which is good for the milk and everything. But for the brisket itself, it's better if it's been like very intramuscular.
So that the fat is marbled in the,
exactly.
in the beef.
And we need that. So at the end of the cooking process, it's really melting in your mouth.
Yeah.
And if you only use grass-fed beef, then we'll get too dry. We're gonna take the best brisket we have. I have more. You see, you have all the marbling and all the smoke ring that shows that the process went well. This is definitely gonna be for you. The
oh yeah, we want to see
spare ribs.
Yeah.
We receive them the whole rack, and then we trim them so it has exactly the perfect form that we want. We want them meaty on the bone. We don't want them falling off the bone. Not at the point like you just. Because we think we lose something. We lose this chewy experience that we prefer. We base them with barbecue sauce and then in the smoker for like between 5 and 6 hours, depends the size and everything. But then 30 minutes before the end of the cooking process, we of course put apple cider vinegar. Okay, in order to keep them juicy all along the process. And then at the end of the very end, we just rebase them with barbecue sauce before take them out. Now, of course, the barbecue sauce is homemade, and then we just let them rest, and same as the brisket, same as everything else, we let them rest, and yeah, it should be ready then. Yeah. So usually you just take it, they're kind of ready. Okay, look.
Wow, beautiful.
You see? So you have all the smoke ring, because the pork also does have a smoke ring.
Okay.
But you can see also that the pork is really juicy.
Wow.
So it's falling off the bone, as I show you. So if you want to get a bite, please.
Of course.
Go for it.
Thank you. Wow, it's so hot.
It's really warm, huh? Thank you. It's really warm.
Cheers. Love this type of video.
It's good? Yeah?
So good.
Awesome.
And I've heard as well the cutting of the meat is different in France and in the US.
100%. We had to explain the cut we wanted to our suppliers in Spain directly, so they knew and they understood what we were expecting from them.
Cool. Okay.
The spare ribs in France does not exist. Even the spare ribs, the cut doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to explain exactly what we wanted and just make sure that it's meaty and also in the same time easy to cook and everything.
What's crazy to me is like it's not very common to do American style barbecue in Europe. So you guys were like really like one of the first few ones to do it in Paris and do it like so authentically as well.
And we try our best to just do what we've been taught.
Yeah.
We're not from Texas, but we do love Texas, especially on the food aspect. Definitely the barbecue there is like the best you may find in the entire world, but like no question asked. We for like the past 12 years. We've been there like maybe 5-6 times. Every time we go with an MV to discover new inspiration, meeting new pitmaster, knowing their ways and everything. And we got the chance of having one of them from Pick and Lush that came with us as a consultant for like 2 years. And then we got also Alexander Smith that came to help us to open actually this site for almost 6 months. When the guys speak, everyone just sit down and silence and take notes. The barbecue is evolving on itself all the time. Yesterday is good, maybe tomorrow it can be better. I mean, you never know. You have to just focus, and the more love you put, the more time you are willing to take, and without any shortcut, and just put a lot of love inside, and it should be good. We didn't invent anything. Yeah, we did it. We did adjust a couple of CP, of course, our rub. Every 2 years, we go back in Texas to meet the new winner of the Texas Multi rating. You know, learn a little bit and try also to adjust it to the French palate.
How did you do that?
Size.
Okay,
Size.
yes.
For example, we like to have vegetable mostly everywhere, but I mean in the US also, but there is like the collard green, there is coleslaw, but here we have like the beans like you can find in the US. You have the Brussels sprouts, cornbread also, and in terms of like the barbecue itself, we have items that we didn't find anywhere else. So for example, we have also the beef cheek. We smoke it, for 4 hours. So that we are in the process of the smoking right now. And then once the 4 hours are done, we just take and we will put it in the brisket fat.
Ooh,
so
nice.
it will confit for an extra 4 more hours. And then it will stay in the brisket fat. It's gonna be very juicy, very, you'll try it. We just take it out of the brisket fat. So like, there you go. We just make sure it's been dipped. Just falling apart everywhere.
Wow.
But these guys are not completely ready, as I can tell. And then go back to be confit inside. Pulled pork, so pork shoulder. So these guys, they come whole, like everywhere else. We put them the 4 first hours without the iron box. Okay, so they take all the flavor, the smoky flavor, and then in order to keep the juices, put the shoulder inside this iron pot. But these guys are not ready at all. Like, I mean, we still have like around 6 more hours.
Okay,
easy.
wow.
Okay, so we have shredded. You can try, it's like so good. And we just keep it inside before the service. So pork belly is like literally one of my favorite.
Yeah, I've never had this one either.
You never
No.
had? It's the best.
No, whenever I
honestly,
come, I have my regular order, you know, so now I'm trying new things.
You see?
Wow.
Wow. And I don't know about you, Bobby, but after seeing all this, I am ready to dive in.
Totally. No, I mean, Jean has given us the platter of our dreams here. Like, this thing is enormous. Like, it feels like we're at the gym right now.
So obviously we're gonna try to make a dent in this massive barbecue platter, but as we go, we're gonna be rating things. And to get a 10 out of 10 inner scale, it has to be something that's up to par with the barbecue we had in Texas.
But before we do that, I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni is a service that removes your private information from the internet. And I don't know if you've ever Googled your own name, but it can be a little bit scary because there's so much of your personal information that's available online, and this information can be used against you. And I personally had to learn this the hard way when my Instagram account got hacked a few years ago by someone who had terrible Photoshop skills. It was very hard to recover and pretty stressful, to be honest, and that's why I've been taking my online privacy more seriously since, and recently tried Incogni. How it works is that it tracks your personal data and automatically removes it from hundreds of data broker sites, and also you can use their custom removal feature to take down pretty much everything that's exposed about you online. Right now, Incogni is offering 60% off their annual plan if you use my code Lucille at checkout and click on the link in the description below. So go take care of your data before someone else's does. And in the meantime, let's take care of this massive barbecue platter.
All right, Bobby, what do you want to start with?
I'm gonna say the ribs.
They smell so good.
Like, not exaggerating here, this is a top 5 rib of my life. Like, it is truly mind-blowing. Like, I just took a bite and it just came right off the bone. Honestly, if I didn't see a bakery just in front of me right now while eating this Texas barbecue, I would think I would be in Texas. Like, it does not feel like this is Paris right now.
Same. And I feel the taste of these ribs is so similar to what I've eaten in Texas. It's super impressive.
Not only is it similar, but you can tell that they've put their own twist on it too. Obviously, France is known for having a food culture. So to see that in American barbecue in a way where they've taken the advice from pitmasters of Texas, it's truly mind-blowing.
And I really need you to understand how impressive that is, because remember that in France, we do not have a barbecue culture. This is what we call barbecue. So it is crazy that Jean and Paul had to learn all of this for themselves and go back to the source with the help of American pitmasters.
The only thing that I can say for my rating is this. I have only seen that in Texas before. This for me, easily is a 10 out of 10.
And I think the thing that will be the real taste test is the brisket.
Oh, definitely.
It is so hard to do a good brisket, and here just looking at it, I'm really impressed at how juicy it looks, with a beautiful bark and a really nice smoke ring. And if you put the brisket on your finger, which I've learned it's called a bend test, which is used in brisket competitions. And in terms of texture, you can see that the fat is really melted into the meat. And also, I love how much of a perfectionist Jean is.
Oh, yeah.
So he already cut us a beautiful 3 pieces of brisket here, but he came back and brought us even more brisket because this one is even better than the other one he cut.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Holy crap. Wow.
For me, it's really the texture that is so perfect. It's buttery smooth without being too fatty. And also, you know, this is a thick cut of brisket with a beautiful bark as well.
I'm in brisket heaven right now.
With my short but important barbecue experience, I'm gonna rate this one a 10 out of 10. I can really see why people have kept commenting that I tried this place here in Paris, because it is, in my opinion, just as good as the other places I've tried.
Like, we tried Terry Black's in Texas, and I was, you know, it was like barbecue I'd never tasted before. This is on the same level as that. To be here in France and to have something that is like from Texas where they're doing it, I don't want to say better, but it could be. Like, this is a 12 out of 10 for me. Like, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because I'm just like, this goes past my expectations. Moving on to our first side here, we have the coleslaw.
Is it similar to what you would have in the US?
I would say it's different because in the US it's usually very mayo heavy.
Yeah, this one looks very fresh. Like, it looks like, you know, a vegetable salad.
Yeah, which is what Jean was telling us about, how he was trying to incorporate more vegetables for the French.
For the French palate.
French.
We just want the veggies after eating all the barbecue.
Coleslaw is certainly different than what you would find in the US. Very vegetable heavy. There's no mayo, very little fat.
Yep.
Coleslaw, is it a typical thing in France? Or?
No.
No, okay, interesting. It's like an entirely different dish for me.
Yep.
Like, it's difficult to compare it to coleslaw because it's really not American coleslaw, right? Like fatty, mayo-y coleslaw.
So what's your rating as an American?
I'm a sucker for American coleslaw.
You want your mayo.
I don't want my mayo, so I'm gonna maybe go like 7 out of 10.
I don't know too much about what American coleslaw tastes like, and this is perfect for my French palate, so it's like the ideal side. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. So the one thing I'm curious to try is the pulled pork, because I have talked about before how it's a trending food in France, but we don't know how to make it very well, and I'll show a picture of what I mean here. And here, as we've seen before with Jean, they really tried their best to make it in a legit way. So I'm curious to see what it tastes like.
Look at this.
Great.
Oh
wow, you got such a big bite. Cheers. Wow, I really love the taste. It's like very vinegary in a good way. Like, I really like that.
It makes the taste really come out. You know, the vinegary taste makes it come out. First difference I see here is that American pulled pork, you know, sometimes it's because of the sauce, is a bit sugary.
That is true, yeah.
This has no sugar in it.
Yeah.
Fat and seasonings.
Yes, and you do taste like the barbecue sauce, but like the vinegary tanginess and like the peppery feelings like really stand out a lot.
In terms of rating, for me, this is a solid pulled pork. It's great. I do like a tiny bit of sugar attached
You need
to
a
it.
bit of more sugar.
So I'm gonna go with like an 8 here.
I have to say that the brisket is like the absolute test of like if a barbecue is good or not.
Oh yeah.
And the brisket was like, you know, next level. The pulled pork, for me, it's not my favorite barbecue item, although here it's really good and I love the vinegary taste. So I'm also going to join you with an 8. Next, we have an item that I have never tried before that I'm super excited by because we saw it made. It's the beef cheek.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard that's a typical niche barbecue item in Texas.
I've only seen it a handful of times.
And also, I think it's kind of like a lot of people are afraid of eating beef cheeks, whereas in France, one thing about us, we eat all types of meats, all types of cuts. I think this will be a good market for beef cheeks because we're used to eating them. It's in our culture.
This is definitely a dish where you realize that you're in France, you know?
And looking at it, to me, it looks like a more appetizing version of pulled pork. If you look at the meat, it is super tender, super fatty, and it seems there's a lot of demand for it because they were making so many beef cheeks.
They put so many out of the smoker into their like little, you know, holder or whatever. Like it was so crazy.
Cheers. Here you can re-taste the sweet taste of the barbecue sauce.
Oh my god.
Look at it, it's not too sweet, it's perfectly seasoned, and the meat just melts right in your mouth.
I think this one right here has won me over. This is officially just as good as Texas barbecue places with this dish. Like this is unbelievable.
I think I might have just found my new favorite barbecue item. I'm all about the brisket, as you've seen in my past videos. This is so good, it's so flavorful, and you can really taste that the meat has been smoked for hours.
This is a bit weird, but I've never had an effect on a food where my mouth starts salivating after eating it.
It's so addictive, like I just like want to keep eating it. But I know we have so many good things to try, so I know we have to move to the next food.
Yes.
So this is my first 12 out of 10 for me. 100%. I'm joining you. It's like a crazy rating, guy. This is like #1 for me. It goes above the brisket.
Yeah, I gotta join you. I mean, it's just as good as the brisket, if not better. And what makes it better for me is I've never had such a high quality beef cheek before.
I know. And I've tried like French-made beef cheeks, but never barbecue beef cheeks. And this is like next level.
Next, we have potentially the thing I was looking forward to most, and that is the maple bacon. Just look at this thing.
Yeah, and I think this is also not a very common barbecue item.
I think I've only seen it a few times as well, but this is just like, it is falling apart. Like, oh my god.
Jean said to dip it in this sauce, which is some kind of honey mustard sauce, I'd say. All the sauces are obviously homemade, and they're a bit different to what you might find in American barbecue. Yum, this mustard sauce is so good. I wish I could have it every single day.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oof, I'm starting to be full. Like, we haven't even made a dent in this platter. It is insanely big. All right, so what's your rating in terms of bacon?
I mean, this is on line with the beef cheek. I don't want to give everything a 12. I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay, 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
For me, it is very tough because I like doing my ratings almost like a ranking. And I have to say that everything has been very, very good so far. So I'm going to rate this one a 9 out of 10. Okay, next we have a few items that are here on this menu, but that I've never seen anywhere else in American barbecue. And that I think are things French people really love. The first thing is this half chicken, which is, I would say, a very French thing. Like, a rotisserie chicken is a Sunday tradition in France. We eat that pretty much every week. And I love that here you can order a half chicken that has been cooked barbecue style.
There's so many seasonings on here. Like, it's crazy how delicious this is.
So is it more American style or French style for you?
I would say it's a mixture of both. And you have the essence of the French rotisserie chicken, but you also have the Texas spices on top.
And next we have the wings. So wings are usually not a thing in France. It is like one of the American foods that are having a moment. Every day a new fried chicken restaurant pop up, and here they make it in a spicy style with kind of what Jean called their own version of ranch, which is green and has some dill in it. Wow, the ranch in particular is so good, and it goes so well with like the spiciness of the chicken.
And another one that I'm excited for that I haven't had at a barbecue place, I think, is the pork belly, which looks so succulent and so juicy that I think I just have to try it. The thing I can't just get over at this place is how big of a variety their menu has. Typically, at a barbecue place, you'll have ribs, you'll have brisket. Here, their menu is so vast, and they have pork belly. In the US, you would typically have pork belly at a Filipino restaurant, but to have it in the version of barbecue, it's unbelievable.
Next, we have the loaded potatoes.
It has sort of like a variety of the French culture and also the American essence in them. They have you know, the potatoes on the bottom with sauce on top and jalapenos, which is not common in France.
Nope, I've never seen that anywhere else than here.
However, you don't have the bacon bites, you don't have the cheddar cheese, you have sort of like the French version of it, which is basically just a bit lighter.
Yeah, it's like these potatoes are the perfect fusion food between the American potatoes and the French taste. Like, this is something I could eat on a Sunday with my half chicken.
So in terms of the final rankings here for the side items, we have the pork belly in first place. Second, the wings, because truthfully, they're nothing that you would find in an American barbecue joint. Third, the potatoes, and fourth, the chicken. Not because it's not delicious, but because it's something that maybe you would find in other places in France.
And after this massive meal, I really need to take a nap. So we're gonna end it here. A big thank you to Jean and to the Melt team for inviting us and showing us how they make authentic Texas barbecue here in Paris. If you enjoyed this video, go watch the ones that are on screen right now, and I'll see you there. Bye for now.